there is no future without technology. For me, the most exciting part is to find tech solutions to break this language barrier across the world and then unleash the potential of what mankind can do.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to She Means Business, where we celebrate amazing women leaders who are driving change and making a difference. Today, we are speaking with Vidushi Kapoor. She brings 15 years of experience in language, technology, and finance. After successful stints at EY and Goldman Sachs, she is currently leading Process Nine and is dedicated to building the company into a global leader in language technology solutions. Vidushi, in addition to her corporate responsibilities, actively contributes to industry development initiatives, including service on the executive board of CITLOB as chapter manager for India at Women in Localization and as a member of Nasscom's SME Council. Welcome, Vidushi. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Yeah. Vidushi, let's start with your journey. And was there a specific moment or experience that first drew you towards technology? I mean, were you a tech gig, perhaps an early innovation, and there you thought that this is where I belong?
Well, I never knew I'd end up in technology actually. My background is not one of engineering or IT. I actually studied economics from LSR. But I had a very early influence of both languages and technology. My father, who is also my co-founder at Process Nine, has been in this space for since pretty much since when I was born, and he has been making language technology solutions to make Indian languages available on the desktop, on laptops, making typing easy, making solutions for Indian language newspapers, regional language newspapers. So I was always exposed to uh, this world from the very beginning. And when internet and mobile and smartphones really started coming to India in a meaningful way, that's when ideas sparked and conversations started. One thing led to the other, and I saw myself leaving my finance related job at a bank to come back to Gurgaon and start processing within.
Oh, great. So I think localization is in the blood, and when we talk about localization and breaking language barriers, we think of, they're not just about business, but then they're also about access and inclusion. How do you see your work impacting, the underserved communities, and what's been the most rewarding feedback that you've ever got on this?
So, absolutely, absolutely, it's about inclusion. In fact, the reason why my father got into this space altogether, and that is a big reason for the genesis of Process 9 as well, is because he faced the inclusion problem or the language barrier personally while growing up. He was born and brought up in a village, and then when he came for his higher studies, he realized that the medium of communication, the medium of imparting education was English, whereas he had studied in Hindi medium, and that was his personal encounter with the language barrier, and that is why. He has been on this mission and he has inspired me and so many others to be on this mission to break language barriers. And for us, I think it's not just one or two isolated examples. It's when we see merchants, uh, small mom and pop stores, uh, auto rickshaw drivers, fruit vendors, cobblers, everyone today having a QR code, being able to use apps like, Google Pay, Paytm in their own language and being part of this financial inclusion journey, or using any of the different apps or banking applications in their language, and getting that empowerment with technology. It is the most rewarding thing that you can do, and you realize that you're playing some sort of role in it.
I think I totally agree that that's quite amazing how technology has, made a lot of things inclusive for, a lot of people, especially in a country like ours, which is so diverse in like, many ways. Currently we're talking about technology that existed, before, and, that has also brought in these changes. But as we move forward, if we look at AI's role in redefining industries, how do you think from where we stand, how do you think the role of emerging tech like AI will transform, an area like localization landscape over a few years?
AI has been in the language space for a very long time, actually. It's just
Hmm.
now that other industries are also finding use cases and are waking up to the magic of AI. But we have, for example, been creating AI and transformer model and neural models for translation from a very long time. And that is what has been driving a lot of our products and platforms that now power localization for some of the biggest brands of the country. So language, for especially for the translation industry, AI has been one of the game changers, but it has been around for a while, and it is now, of course, at a place where we can make changes faster. We can make progress a lot faster than we could do it before.
I mean, if you have to give us an example, what would that be
An example of
of the role of AI in one of these areas?
oh.
Is there
Um,
a specific
so
example that comes to your mind?
Uh, well, the fact that, machine translation itself, that is the biggest and most prolific use of AI in the translation industry. And previously it was statistical models that were being used, but today everyone has moved to, for example, the neural models and transformer models in making translation AIs, and that has
Hmm.
brought about such a jump in the accuracy of translations. We're also able to do voice with languages now. So when you combine that, you can actually have me talking in one language, whereas another person getting a simultaneous translation of that in text and voice. And we have seen that happen in many conferences or even public speeches where the power of AI and technology is actually being used for real-time communication between two people who speak two different languages.
Oh, that's fascinating. But currently the kind of changes that's happening around the world, and we talk about leadership in a tech-powered world today. And there is just so much happening in tech. But when we talk about leadership, which is also something that is extremely important, how do you decide, when to embrace a new technology versus when to step back and wait?
Well, so there are two things to it. Your earlier point of capturing leadership with technology. One thing that every leader today needs to understand is that there is no future without technology, and they need to make conscious effort to become more savvy with technology, to start understanding technology, and they can no longer afford to be aloof, uh, you
Hmm.
know, remain separated from the whole process and have just a small team or a department deal with technology for them. They have to understand that if you are a leader today and you want to survive, thrive, and grow in the future, you have to be technologically savvy. Uh, that will give you the appreciation to understand what, let's say, you talk about a new technology. If you are able to get some understanding of what that technology is, you are able to take a decision between the risk and reward of adopting that technology. If you don't
Right.
understand the technology and you're just following the hype that comes with it, and you're taking decisions without understanding what lies at the core, that's when
Hmm.
mistakes can happen. But if you have that appreciation, you understand that, then you can do a proper evaluation of the risk and reward. And if
Hmm.
those match, if the risk is something you're willing to take and the reward is something that excites you, that's when you would decide that whether this is for me or not.
I think that's very well said on the risk and reward front. Looking ahead, if you have to, let's say, look 5 to 10 years ahead, what excites you the most about this intersection of technology and leadership then?
Well, for me personally, I think the space that we're in is what excites me the most. Today, if we realistically look at the situation, knowledge for any topic, any subject, is freely available to one and all. But what is it that is really stopping someone from getting access to that knowledge, that power? It's language barrier. The internet, YouTube, there's so many online courses, they're free. And, you know, thanks to technology and our leaders, the internet and a smartphone is available in almost every hand in this country and in the world. So
Hmm.
it's not that they cannot learn anything that they want to or be anyone they want besides or accept language. And if we are able to really break this barrier and make every piece of information accessible to everyone in this world in their language,
Hmm.
then the possibilities are immense. So for me, the most exciting part is continuously working to find tech solutions to break this language barrier across the world and then unleash the potential of what mankind can do.
With this, I think we come to an end to this wonderful chat. Thank you so much, Vidushi. And I think you're doing some exciting work, and we look forward to partnering with you in future. Thank you so much.